Okay, so we're going to be evaluating functions, and there's nothing new to what we're about to do. It just looks kind of funny with some new math terminology. So an example problem like this might look like this. Given g of x, not g parenthesis x, g of x equals negative 4x plus 5, find g of 5. Now that looks kind of weird. Where's y? Well, this right here is just a fancy way of saying y equals. That's just slope form, right? Y equals mx plus b. And what this problem is asking us to do is if you took 5 as x and plugged it in, what would you get? That's all it is. And we've been doing that forever. So we just have to find a new way of writing it. So we would say g of 5. Notice that I'm taking anywhere I see an x, I'm going to plug in 5. It just wants to know what is it when it's equal to 5. Is equal to negative 4. Instead of x, I'm going to say times 5 plus 5. So look, I'm just plugging in 5 wherever I see x's. Now, g of 5, that's not anything I'm doing. I'm not, multiplying g of 5. That's just like its name. Like I'm Dr. Oldham. The name of this function is g. And then I'm just going to multiply this. So this would be negative 20 plus 5. At this point, I would just put it in the calculator, right? So I would put all of this in the calculator or my brain. Brain is always good, but if your brain's not working right now, that would be negative 20 plus 5 would be negative 15. So when it says evaluate functions, all it's asking you to do is plug this in. And what this means, g of 5 equals negative 15, is when x equals 5, y equals negative 15. It would be like a coordinate point that we could put on a graph. So that's all it means. Plug it in, what do you get? All right, so we're going to evaluate one more time, but this time we're going to do it with a quadratic that also has some negative signs in it. So we can just practice to make sure we're plugging everything in correctly. So this says evaluate f of x, and when it's equal to negative x squared minus 2x plus 20. Find f of 3. That means when x is 3, what's the equation? So we plug it in. So f of 3 is equal to, look, the coefficient here is a negative 1. So I'm going to say negative, and when I plug in my 3, when I say x squared, right here, I put it in parentheses because that is the single value I'm plugging in, not that x, that negative right there. Then minus 2 times 3, because I had 2 x's. So I had to plug them in every spot. Anywhere you see an x, you plug in the 3. Okay, now I just do a little math here. I know, craziness, right? Let's do some math. So f of 3 is equal to, be careful on this term right here. This is not negative 3 squared. It is 3 squared, which is 9, times a negative 1. So this comes out to be a negative 9. Okay, then I've got negative 2 times 3, which would be negative 6. And then I'd have a positive 20. Okay, so again, we use our brain, but hey, let's go ahead and try doing this as pieces now. So this would be negative 9 minus 6 would be negative 15 plus 20. So what I'd end up with is negative 15 plus 20, which would be 5, which means f of 3 equals 5. So when x is 3, the function is 5. And that's evaluating.